Hello, this is Malevolence, and I'm here to tell you today about how to strategize when going through the Gauntlet. And really all it's about when we go in these initial stages is to get all of your heroes charged up as quickly as possible to full rage. And at the beginning levels, they might be lower than your main team. In my case, I have level 80 characters, so they start off around 50. So I'm going to get my main characters here, Hades, Hecate, Argus, Chryseis, and Astrea, up to as high as I can before charging up some of my other secondary characters. So here they're pretty much never going to get to rage. In fact, I don't want to rage them. I don't want their ultimate skills to be used at all. We're just going to let them charge up by killing them with their regular passive skills. And you can see here at the end, all 4 of the characters had full rage. Now when I go back to collect my treasure, of course, and move on to the second level here, again, they're right around 50 in my case because I have a high level team. But you can see now, Hecate, Hades, Argus, Astrea, and Chryseis are at full rage, so I don't need all of them. It is a fairly high level, so I do need to keep some of them sometimes to buffer, like I'll keep Hades in there to buffer slightly. But then I can put in some of my secondary level characters to charge up their rage. And depending on how high of a level, sometimes at level 3 or 4 of the Gauntlet, you might see that it's an even lower team than what you encountered in number 1 and 2. And I'm going to let Hades go off here so he can heal a little bit. And if you do get one of those levels where it's a little bit lower than usual, then obviously you can bring in even lower level characters that you might have as your third team, let's say. And here they go, they're just finishing up. Now these guys got a little bit lower in health than I would have normally liked, but that's probably just because I'm doing this video and not really paying very close attention. And now here, just like I said, here's a lower level team here on level 3. They're only 47. So here's where I can pull in even some lower level characters. Here I'll bring in Achilles as my main tank, for example, and charge them up to full rage. So basically I'm getting all of my usable characters, and in this case I have 3 teams of 5 at varying levels. They'll all be at full rage. And eventually what I'm going to be doing is switching to my main team throughout, but just as backups, I need all of my other characters up at full rage as well. Okay, so here I am at level 7, and as many of you know, when you get to level 7, that's where the high levels pop in that are much higher level than you a lot of times. Now, I'm level 80, so I'm going to get pretty much level 80s from here on out. But what you can see here is that I now have all of my first 3 teams of 5 up here on the top are all pretty much charged to a pretty high level, and so I can use them at any time in case someone dies. Now, I don't plan on dying, but you never know if you need to pull in some nukes, you need to pull in some silencing, you need to pull in some extra tanks, that sort of thing, depending on who you're up against. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky as you go from level 7 and higher. Okay, now as I progress through these levels, you'll notice that I bring in my same team each time, and I'm not going to bring in my secondary characters unless I really need them. Unless Hades dies, for example, I might need to bring in Hercules. But the main thing here is that each time you bring in your team, you need to fire off a couple damage dealers because the other team has no rage, but you do. Take advantage of that. Then as soon as the healer tries to heal, that's when Astrea comes in to silence. So save that silence until some of your back row characters, whether it be Aphrodite, Athena, or Chryseis, or even Astrea herself on the other team, silence them, and that will give you that advantage that you need. So as always, happy hunting and good luck in the Gauntlet.